was my wish to come to America, but I didn't expect it so early, honestly. But when I got in contact with Bradley and with Lutz and they showed me everything about the club and the project, it was just amazing.
Welcome to the City Voice podcast. I am joined by an incredibly special guest today, Eduard Löwen. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you on finally. How are you settling into St. Louis at the moment?
Yeah, very good. Me and my wife, we feel very comfortable here. I mean, the people here are making it very easy for us, especially here in the club. So the 2 months right now have been very, very nice.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to do a little bit of a profile. For most people will know you because they'll be tuning into the app and seeing the exclusives every week. So you are a midfielder.
Yes.
You played for Kaiserslautern and Saarbrücken at youth level. You landed your breakthrough at Nuremberg before landing a move to Hertha Berlin.
Yes.
You've had 2 loans at Augsburg and more recently Bochum. You've represented Germany at under 20, under 21, and at the Olympics where you scored an absolute screamer of a free kick. Correct?
Yes, correct.
And you joined St. Louis City this July.
Yes, correct.
Brilliant. Okay, we're going to get into a very serious part of the podcast nice and early on. This is the getting to know you section. What is your preferred nickname?
Edu.
Edu. Okay, everyone needs to remember that. Your favorite restaurant in St. Louis?
That's very tough. I've been to a few restaurants with my wife and we think the restaurants here are very nice. So I can't say that.
Can't pick one.
Hard.
Can't pick one.
I can't pick one.
Who is the best player you've played against or with?
I would say maybe in the Olympic Games with Max Kruse. He's a great player. And against, I played against very many great players, Bayern, Dortmund. But I would say Thiago Alcantara. When I played against him, it was crazy because I was one-on-one against him the whole time, and it was like I couldn't get the ball. No way. He was always, if I thought I got him now, he's always getting out of pressure. He's a great player, yeah.
Well, that's a good name. Favorite player of all time, but it cannot be Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, for sure, Zinedine Zidane. Yeah, since I grew up, I'm a big fan of Real Madrid, and my father, he doesn't know much about soccer, but I don't know, somehow he liked Zinedine Zidane, and so me and my brother as well, and so Zidane was always a great player and favorite player for us.
Amazing. Your favorite video game?
I would say the first time it was FIFA, then it switched to Call of Duty, Fortnite. Right now I'm playing a little bit Fortnite.
PS5 or Xbox?
No, on the PC.
On the PC gamer?
Yeah.
Serious?
But with a controller.
Oh, okay, cool. I get it. Secret skill that nobody knows about?
I don't know.
Big secret.
I really don't know. That's a tough one.
We can move on to an easier one.
Yeah.
Cat or a dog?
For sure, cat.
For sure, cat.
I love dogs, but I have a cat, so he would be mad at me if I say dog, you know.
Did you bring your cat over from Germany?
Yeah, he is here.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
There needs to be more cat people at this club. It's a very dog-heavy club. So I'm glad to see that you're into the cats.
Yeah.
And then this final one. This is a difficult one. We spoke about it in the green room before. Favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
Solid choice. Okay, we're going to move into the next section. We're going to find out a little bit about you growing up. So you grew up in Germany. Like, how was that?
Yeah, it was pretty good. My brother and my sister, they were born in Siberia and Russia. So my family is originally from Germany, went to Russia because of the war and came back to Germany then again. So I was born in Germany and I had a very, very nice childhood. Thank God, and also thank my parents because they were working a lot to be the best parents for us possible. So I had a great childhood.
Fantastic. You mentioned that your dad wasn't a big soccer fan. Did you come from a soccer family?
No, I wouldn't say that. My father was like in Russia. They played sometimes hockey, and so he was not into soccer. But I don't know. Germany is soccer is the most popular sport there, and I started to play soccer when I was 5 years old. But my parents told me like when I was 2, 3 years old, I always want to kick the ball. So I don't know. I loved soccer from the beginning.
Were you always a midfielder growing up, or did you play in different positions?
I mean, when I was young, it was like everybody was running everywhere like chickens on the field, so nobody cared for that. But when I played I was getting a professional as a central defender, and in Nuremberg, I was playing like really in every position. So when we're playing facing the next opponent. The opponent never knew where I'm gonna play, so I played right back, left back, sometimes a central defender, striker, winger. But I would go 100% for sure for central midfielder. That's my favorite position.
At what point growing up did you realize that you possibly had what it took to be a professional footballer? Was there like a moment?
Honestly, I thought at one point that I'm not gonna make it because I had a tough time in Kaiserslautern. I was normally always the captain of the team. I was also playing with the 1 year older, with the 96 age. So, and then when I was 18, 19, I had some issues with the coaches, so I didn't play a lot. So I was always on the bench in the, I would say, most important time before getting a professional. So that's why I took the step to Saarbrücken. Was normally a step back, but I played in the under-19s Bundesliga, the highest level. And then I went to Nuremberg. So when I was 18 years old, I thought, this is it. I thought maybe this is the end of my career and I won't make it a professional. But in the end, yeah, it worked out.
So you get your first professional contract. Like how exciting is that for you? Were you thinking that maybe it wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, I moved from Saarbrücken to Nuremberg, and then after two weeks, I trained with the professionals already. They were playing in the second league in Germany back then, and yeah, it was very, very quick, everything. After I think 7-8 months, I was doing my first game with the professionals, and then everything went like, my career went like a rocket. Yeah, I made my first games professional, then I got my contract, then I got to play with the under-20s national team Germany, then the under-21s, and then we got directly in the first season. We immediately went to the first league with Nuremberg. So the start of my career was great. Yeah.
What was the biggest thing that you learned in your first season as a professional footballer?
I think dealing with the pressure was one thing. A lot of people watching you. I remember, I don't know if it was the third or fourth game, we played against Bielefeld. It was 0-0. I talked about it with a teammate before, and it was 0-0. I think it was the 18th minute. And then I did a huge mistake in the midfield. I lost the ball. Normally it was a foul. The referee didn't whistle. In the end, he scored. We conceded the goal, lost 1-0, and it was like my whole world was smashing to the ground. You know, I thought like I was battling with it 1-2 weeks with the pressure. You know, because I knew this game was on my behalf that we lost it. Yeah.
When you make a mistake like that, like how do you deal with it, or is it just experience and going at it again?
I mean, it's experience for sure. It's also people who are helping you. My coach was very nice. He was helping me through that, and yeah, I believe in Jesus. That's the most important thing in my life. I believe in everything what the Bible says. So that's one thing how I handle everything, and that's what makes me as a person, because this is yeah, the most important thing about me. And so I think this is also a thing how I handle things like this, because I know I want to give everything in soccer. I want to get the best out of me, but I still know soccer is not everything. Yeah. So
you then get a big move to Hertha Berlin, like a big famous German side. What drove the decision to make the move?
Yeah, as I said already, my beliefs for sure, because I was praying over it, and I had the decision to go to Augsburg or to Hertha Berlin. And then in the end, I made the decision to go to Hertha. Things were not going like I thought it's going to be. So it was a tough time there, but I think I made still the best out of it. It changed a lot of my character, you know. And yeah, as I said, sports-wise, it wasn't like I expected because I didn't play so much. And then I went on loan to Augsburg. But I would do it again like this still if it wasn't that good as I expected.
Yeah, lots of the biggest names in soccer take loan moves. Like it really says something about the mentality when players really own that. And your last season with Bochum was a success. Like, talk to me about like what you learned during that period of time playing for them.
Yeah, for me it was very important just to keep playing again, game after game. That was the most important thing for me. And we had a great season with Bochum. I think nobody expected us to play such a great season. And yeah, for me it was just the most important part, just to get into the game again, to play again, and constantly. And yeah, so I think this was a great step, and I'm very thankful for it.
So you have a great season at Bochum. You've got the opportunity to do something different. Lutz calls. Talk us through what's been your experience with Lutz. Did you hear from him the first time this year, or had you seen him around Germany previously?
Yeah, this is the third time now. He's telling me this all the time because he tried to sign me twice before. And honestly, I didn't know about it, that he wanted to sign me the first time. I didn't know that it was him. He was working for Hoffenheim. I played in Kaiserslautern in the under 16th, and he wanted to take me to Hoffenheim, but in the end it didn't work out. And then when I made the loan, went on loan to Augsburg, it was a decision between Augsburg and Düsseldorf, and he was the sport director at Düsseldorf. And he wanted to sign me so badly, and he tried it so hard. And honestly, when I think back now, Düsseldorf was after that doing a great job. But I thought maybe when I go to Düsseldorf, I go down with them, maybe this wouldn't be so good for me, for my career as well. So yeah, and this is the third time now.
He's
trying to sign me. And yeah, I thought I can let this guy hang a third time. So
coming to the MLS is a growing trend of like good top European players taking their career over here. Did you ever expect to come to America, and like what was the attraction with MLS for you?
It was my wish to come to America, but I didn't expect it so early, honestly. But when I got in contact with Bradley and with Lutz, and they showed me everything about the club and the project, it was just amazing. When I saw it, I was like, I don't know, very, very good, and I was very impressed. And so I made a decision now to come here, and I think this is the best time to come because the MLS is just growing so fast. And you see, it's not only old players who are retiring who come here like the years before. Right now they are coming even young players, like for example from Barcelona, Ricky. Yeah, he's coming, and so many other players, talented players, young players. So I think this is the best time to come here to the MLS.
When you were you flown over to America to see the place before you joined?
No, honestly, no. I didn't see something about St. Louis. I didn't know something about St. Louis. I've been to Orlando before. We've been to training camp with Hertha Berlin in Orlando, in the Florida area. And it was very nice. And then I was always very, very interested in America.
What's your favorite part about America so far? Has anything surprised you?
I would say because of my beliefs, what I like here, how open they handle everything, and also that America is very open with the Bible, with beliefs and everything. So this is a part for sure which I like the most. And also like America, I don't know, I would say the people are just so nice, so open, and it's pretty easy to get in a conversation with people because they are not so reserved like I experienced that maybe for example, in Germany.
So I want to talk in this next section a little bit about the type of player you are. So I was doing some digging around on the internet before this, and there's a great site called FBref, and it takes the data of all the midfielders in the top 5 leagues in Europe, and it apportions a score to each player. So before you tell us what sort of a midfielder you are, you were in the 93rd percentile for pressures. So you're an aggressive player. You are in the 78th percentile for progressive passes, 85th percentile for touches, but you really go to the highest of levels. You're the 97th percentile for shot creating actions, 97th percentile for expected assists. Like these are exciting numbers. For me, just doing the research in you, like, can you tell the fans of St. Louis City what sort of a midfielder can they expect to see on that pitch next March?
I would say I'm a box-to-box player, and I think the most important thing for me is I love to have the ball as often as possible, as many touches as possible. So I love to have ball possession and and also try to come into the dangerous area where I can maybe make an assist or score a goal.
I would also recommend that anybody listening to this podcast Google some of your free kicks, because set pieces are your speciality. Talk to us about how you practice them. Is that like a part of your sort of daily routine when you train?
Yeah, I remember when I was playing in Kaiserslautern, for example, I was practicing free kicks every day. My goalkeeper, he was already tired of it because I wanted to practice it every day after training. And so this was a very important thing for me to always practice free kicks. But I think there are so many opportunities with set pieces where you can score a goal. So I think this is one of my qualities, I think.
Do you look at other players and their free kick styles? Because I notice some of your free kicks are the sort of Cristiano Ronaldo punched free kicks that dip over the wall. Is that like, do you get inspiration from many other players when thinking about your set pieces?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I was always a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. I love the free kicks, for example, from Gareth Bale, the way he's hitting it, because the ball is going like very, the curve he's hitting. And I was always it was very hard for me to choose between these two, because sometimes, for example, my first free kick goal as a professional, I scored like this like more the knuckle ball, and then I got more into it like the curve ball. So, and sometimes I'm very in between to choose between these two, because sometimes if you are like very close to the goal and if you can hit it like more like a knuckle ball, that the ball is going down, maybe sometimes that's better, but it's tough to decide sometimes.
And when you're obviously great at free kicks that are like 25, 35 yards out. Will you be responsible for set pieces from outside the box? Like, do you rate your delivery into the box for crosses as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in the past, I was making set pieces many times in the clubs I played, so I think so, yeah.
And is ball striking, like your ball striking ability is like you hit outrageously powerful shots. Should fans be expecting you to pop up with a few goals in open play this season? I
hope so. I will try my best.
Brilliant. You mentioned Bradley Carnell earlier, like young, charismatic manager starting his first job. Have you been impressed talking to Bradley, and has he given you a plan of what he's expecting from you this season?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I talked to him many times, and I mean, he's for sure a great coach, but what I like even more in the time I get to know him more is his character. yeah, the way he's talking, the way he's thinking, he's a very humble person, and yeah, I like him a lot, and I think we can have a great season with him.
Does he set expectations from you? Does he say, does he tell you what he wants from you as a midfielder? And like, is that coming through in your training sessions with him at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, that's one reason he signed me, because of the qualities he sees in me. But otherwise, I think I have to get better in so many things. I have to get more into the system we want to play, and he wants to play aggressive, to play on pressure, to put the most pressure on the opponents. So I have to get more into this, and that's what he's expecting from me for sure. And also, I think what he was saying to me a lot of many times, to lead the team, to be a leader in the group. I think this is also one thing I have to do more.
Brilliant. And we are sitting in this beautiful training facility right now. You've played at a number of clubs in Germany. How does this training facility match up to where you've been before?
I mean, in Nuremberg, the facility was also very nice. It was pretty new, and I liked it a lot there. But I would say this facility is the best I've ever been in, because it's very new. The stadium, the style, the way it looks, it's just amazing, and it's very unique. Yeah. What's
your favorite piece of equipment in here, or like favorite room to go in? Do you have a favorite?
Wow, that's hard to say. I mean, the last couple of weeks I've been injured, so I spend a lot of time in the physio room. Yeah, there's a quiet room directly next to our locker room. Never seen this before, and I like this. Sometimes I want to like have a little bit of privacy, then I go in there. It's very nice.
Nice. You've also played in a lot of great stadiums. You mentioned you played in Munich, you've played at Dortmund. Have you spent much time in the new facility?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a couple times in a stadium. It's not so big, not so many people, but sometimes that's better because of the atmosphere when it's very tight and everything. But as I said, the style, the stadium looks, I've very rarely such a nice stadium like this.
Have you trained on the pitch?
Just a little bit, just some rehab, some running, but not with the team.
Fantastic. You attended to watch, and you did play in some City 2 games this season. What did you think of the fans in attendance at those games?
Yeah, I think they have been great. As you saw, the way they were supporting us, very positive, and I think it's also a credit of them that the team made it so far. And it's also very interesting to see everything, because it's a new club, it's a new expansion team, everything is new fans. I think this is a great, will be a great atmosphere in the stadium and just in the whole city. I can see, if I see some people, they are talking about soccer, and you see they are so excited to see us to play in the MLS, and that's very nice, yeah.
Do noisy, enthusiastic fans help you as a player? Like, is it part of, the excitement of coming to game day?
I would say so, for sure. Especially sometimes in a few actions, when you do a good action, you do a great pass or a great tackling, and the fans are like noisy. For sure, this pushes you 100%. For example, when I played in Bochum, the stadium was pretty small, but the atmosphere there was just great.
Yeah. And you feel that as a player, you hear that on the pitch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd be excited to hear that. Did you enjoy working with John Hackworth through the City 2 project?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's also pretty like Bradley, very humble, very, I don't know. Sometimes I have to think about that he's my coach, because he's so also, he has a good middle between tension, between being serious and being still like normal with players, joking around a little bit. He's a very nice guy, and I think we have a great staff team as well.
Brilliant. Playing in America is different to playing in Germany. like the distances that you have to travel, the geographies and the climates that you have to deal with. What do you think about the away day experience next year? Are you preparing for that? Like, have you thought much about, that you'll be in Colorado one week and then you could be in LA the next? Like, how does that factor in your thinking?
Yeah, it's just amazing when I think about being in all these great cities. America is such a huge country and it has so many different spots. And this will be a nice experience for sure, but I think it will be also very important to be as professional as possible, to recover very quick and to take care of my body because of all the traveling, all the different time zones as well. And this will be different for sure.
Are there any teams that you are looking forward to playing in MLS? Is there like a city that you've always wanted to go to, like where you're going to get a little bit of extra time to go and see a site or something?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to New York now with my wife 1 week ago. It was very nice. I wanted to see New York for sure. I want to see Miami, LA for sure. And also LA has some great players in the team. So I think LA FC playing against them will be a great experience for me. Yeah,
fantastic. Bayer Leverkusen are coming to St. Louis in November. It will be the first game at City Park. Firstly, could you tell the fans a little bit about Bayer Leverkusen, having played against them yourself? And then could you tell us, like, how excited are you about that curtain raiser?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more excited for me because of the coach they have right now, because I was always supporting Real Madrid. I was always watching him, admiring Xabi Alonso. He was a great player. And especially Leverkusen is one of the best clubs in Germany. A lot of ball possession, the way they play, it's just very, very nice. They play a very nice football. So I think this will be a great game and a great experience for the players as well, especially in the stadium, the first time in front of our fans. I think everybody's so excited for this game.
Is there a player the City fans should look out for?
In Leverkusen?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough question because they have so many good players. For sure, Patrick Schick, the striker. Demirbay is a great player. Diaby on the winger. Frimpong. I think these are all players I played against and which are just, amazing.
Fantastic. So we're closing out the podcast now. I'd love to ask you what success for you personally looks like in the first season next year.
Honestly, my goal, and I don't want to be like too enthusiastic and to maybe go too far, but I think the goal would be to get into the playoffs. I mean, it will be a little bit tough. We have to get more into the league and everything, and it will take us a few months, but I think this is a realistic goal to reach the playoffs, yeah.
It's pretty exciting, City fans. Thank you so much for your time. You've been incredible. I think that's given a lot for the fans to digest. We hope that we can have you on next season when you've played a few games. Edu, thank you so much for giving us your time there. That was a brilliant interview. And if you enjoyed listening to this, get onto your app, give us a 5-star review and say how much you enjoyed listening to that Edu podcast, because hopefully he'll come back next season. Thank you.
Thank you.